Alright, what's up guys? New video today. We are doing the Red Eyes tier list. This is something that's been asked for very aggressively ever since the Blue Eyes and the Dark Magician one. And of course, if you have any ideas for other tier lists, just mention it in the comments below.
Unless it's a digital bug tier list.
Unless it's digital bugs, then just keep it to yourself. But also, you know, if you enjoy this type of video, please subscribe. Don't be creeping around in the comments section. If you like it, just subscribe. Some of you guys have been on multiple videos, not subscribed. Just join the project. But enough of the commercials. Let's get started. Red Eyes, very exciting, very diverse deck. Over the years, you've had so many different strategies available to you. It's a burn deck. It's a Gemini deck.
It's an equip deck.
Equip deck, and it's been all over the place. It's a fusion deck. There's so much to do. It has XYZ monsters. This is a very versatile deck.
It only has one main deck XYZ, but then like the level 7 pool is a rank 7 pool is just really good in general.
There's so much to do with this deck.
Oh, and the rituals too.
The rituals. Then you have the Guard Dragon route. You can build just a back row deck. You can build it with warriors. This is a very, very versatile deck. One of the more enjoyable classic decks to play, just because of the variety that the deck has available to you. But enough of the commercials. Let's get started. Right off the bat, we have Black Skull Dragon. This is going in F tier, not because the card is particularly terrible, just because there's actually legitimately a better card to play.
A retrain version.
Yeah, there's a retrain of it. So just based on that fact, this tier list is based on S tier being the most the cards that you are most likely to play in a Red Eyes deck, and then F tier is the cards that are least likely to be playable in a Red Eyes deck as of right now. Basically, that's how we do these tier lists. But yeah, this card is just there's no point to play. It's not that it's particularly terrible. The only reason you would play it is if you were playing like if you were playing the deck with like Tenyis or something, and then you had a bunch of Tenyis and you wanted to sit on your one copy of Black Skull Dragon. Other than that, there's no point to play, because this is a better alternative. Even still,
that's like,
yeah, that's just me throwing out stupid ideas. But still, that's still like, yeah, I'm just trying to throw up anything.
Trying your best.
I'm trying my best to make the card all right. Next we have Meteor Dragon. This card is, where did we decide this was gonna go?
I think it was in like C tier.
Yeah, we were putting
because it wasn't like,
yeah,
it doesn't have a bad effect. It's just the fact that it's a Gemini and it's level 6.
It's slow. All right. So for a little while, Red Eyes support cards became Gemini Monsters, which, if you don't know, Gemini Monsters are monsters that have to normal summon themselves a second time, and then they gain additional effects. So they're like bad effect monsters. But basically, what ends up happening is, once you normal summon this like appropriately, this card protects all of your Red Eyes from destruction and battle, which seems good, but
you have to wait a whole turn.
Yeah, you have to wait basically a whole turn to do it. So it's extraordinarily slow. And on top of it, this card has terrible stats. The only reason you would even use this card is to summon the Comet Dragon. That's really legitimately the only reason you would even want to use this card. Other than that, like, and to be honest with you, with Comet Dragon, there's actually some better
level 6 dragons.
Yeah, there's a lot of better level 6 dragons, like Amorphage Goliath and
Magna Zertron,
Amorphage Goliath. Who else? The Kaiser guy.
The Light Dragon, Light
Pulsar Kaiser. There's other options. You don't have to play this, but it is the Red Eyes name, so you can summon it off of like Spirit, and the next turn give yourself protection. But I mean, it's a little too slow.
Return's probably the better option.
Because it's a normal monster in the graveyard. Next, we have the alternative. This is B tier. It's a decent card. It's not like outrageously good. It is a
the
decent
cost
extender.
Is a bit much.
Yeah, tributing Red Eyes on the field is a little steep.
Fielder hand.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit steep.
But the float effect is like really good with like the original Red Eyes. It becomes 48 original attack. Like, you can just beat over Dragoon and stuff like that. It comes in handy. Not many people see it coming too. They just like attack into it. They won't care, and then like they have to deal with Red Eyes Black Dragons 4,100, and it's like, that's just the end of the turn. No, it's permanent.
Yeah, it's a crazy buff. So yeah, it's a pretty decent extender. I'd say most Red Eyes decks today do play it, but it's not like the most outrageously good.
It's not like Blue Eyes where you need like 3 of them. It's probably just one.
Yeah.
It's searchable.
Oh, it's not even close to Blue Eyes alternative.
Never.
Next we've got
Dark Dragon Ritual.
Dark Dragon Ritual. This is B tier. We put this in B tier because as far as ritual spells go, this is actually a really good ritual spell. Because it actually has a search effect that unfortunately you can't activate in the same turn, but it basically searches any red eye spell or trap card, which is actually really good, and that only gets better the more they release red eye spell and trap cards.
Mm-hmm. It's good for like a backup play now because you search for fusion and then summon Dragoon and stuff like that, or just like any trap to just bring stuff back. It's really, and it's like it's not even that like difficult to summon the paladin. He's level 4. It's like any monster in the archetype, so I think it's solid.
Yeah, that's one of the better paladin cards. It's definitely better than the Blue Eyes Paladin.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, the one that destroys defense position monsters automatically.
Summons Blue Eyes, can't attack.
Lord of the Red. This we put at the top of C tier. Not because this card is particularly bad. It actually is a very good card. Its issues are not its effects, because its effects are actually very good. It has a soft once per turn that when a card is activated, you pop a monster, and then if a card is activated, you can pop a spell or trap card. Like it's actually a very, very good effect. All things considered.
Is the name, because it's not actually a Red Eyes monster.
Yeah.
And it's a level 8, so you can't like just use a Red Eyes distribute. It's just so awkward to summon and search and stuff like that. So it's just, and you can't bring it back with like Spirit or anything. So it's like, it just doesn't work. It's just so awkward. And then what's it called? The only level 8 Red Eyes monster is like terrible. So it's like, you just can't really use him. His ritual spell isn't that bad either though. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, like if this card was level 8 and had Red Eyes in the name, it'd probably be like on Chaos Max's level, like where most like it would be a very popular card to play. I could even imagine somebody summoning 3 copies of this card and then having some Red Eyes back row. Like that would actually be a legitimate and pretty strong strategy. But like as far as summoning this, like it's very difficult to summon more than 2 of them, and you basically have to waste your whole hand to summon just 2 of them, just because of the level and name incongruencies that are just incredibly frustrating. But that's why it is where it is. If this was honestly Red Eyes in the name in a level 7, it would probably be an S tier. But yeah,
no doubt.
Like I really don't know why they really did this card dirty. And it's Joey wearing a Red Eye suit. Like I don't know why they did that.
It's cosplay.
Yeah.
When are we gonna do that?
Hey. All right. Next, we've got the Black Sword. This is the one you summon off of Claw of Hermos. This we put in D tier. Not because it's particularly bad, but it's really just a one-trick pony. All it does is just give you a ton of attack.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 like off the bat, and then 500 for every dragon in the field and graveyards, which is like
yeah, it's a lot.
Everything's like almost everything's a dragon, so you just do your combo, and then if you have Claw of Hermos, it's just gonna be crazy. Like, if it's a dragon mirror match, forget it. He's gonna be in like tens of thousands. It's crazy.
Like it does a lot, because if you're playing like the Guard Dragon package, I mean, forget it. This card is like.
And if they're playing the Guard Dragon package too, it's even more.
Oh yeah. No, it is pretty crazy though. If you're playing the Guard Dragon package, you could probably OTK with this. You could probably build a pretty decent OTK deck around this.
The only issue is that Claw of Hermos is not searchable. So.
Yeah, you can't rely on it. Like, there's probably a pretty cool OTK combo that you could do, like with 1 black metal and a Claw of Hermos, but it's super until they create a way to search Claw of Hermos reliably. This will probably be relegated down here. Next we've got, this is Slash Dragon. This is an A tier. It's one of the better Red Eyes fusions. Not the best Red Eyes fusion. It's one of the better ones. But it gives you protection. It brings back warriors from the graveyard and attaches them as equips. Like it does some cool stuff. It's fairly easy to summon.
And unlike the other fusions, he's actually a Red Eyes in name. Yeah. Like not from like the Red Eyes fusion spell. And he's actually a level 7 as well, so you can do like the rank 7 plays and whatnot. He's like awkwardly. It feels weird saying this. He actually has the most synergy out of all the fusions, which is weird to say. I mean, Dragoon's also a Red Eyes by name, but he's level 8, so he's a little awkward. But yeah, Slash Dragon was just the homie before Dragoon came out. He still is though. It's like sending any warrior to grave, especially with the Phantom Knights and stuff like that. There's a lot you can do with him.
Yep. Next is Comet Dragon. We put this.
Black Flair.
Oh, Black Flair. Mm-hmm. We put this in B tier. You really never play more than 1. Sometimes you can play 2 regular Red Eyes and 1 copy of this, just to mix it up. But most of the time, Playing the regular red eyes is typically going to be better than this. And this is another one of those Gemini monsters, so you have to normal summon it a second time to get any of its actual effects. But the problem is it's not actually a normal monster in the deck, so it has another, like, more weird issues with that. Any more comments on this?
Well, I mean, when you do get his effect off, it's like that 2400 burn, especially if you attack directly, like, it can either end game to put your opponent in a really bad spot, and then you go into like a Flair Metal or something, and then it's like down to the wire, time gets called, things get scary. But it's like 1 in like 50 duels that you're getting that effect off. But it is cool that it works on defense position monsters, so that's like something. That's really it, yeah.
Next we've got Meteor Comet Dragon. This is A tier, right behind our main man.
Dragon.
Yeah, Slash Dragon.
Yeah, Comet's like,
yeah, he's really
big,
good. Yeah.
Burns, he floats. There's a lot. The only thing is, like, you have to have like a level 6, which is like another brick. That's the problem with Meteor and Arch Fiend, is that like you need bricks, and it's like you need to play bricks, but it's just not worth it in the deck because like they do a lot, but they just don't do enough. Like, there's no protection. Like, he's just gonna float, but he floats into specifically a normal monster, so it's like at best you're gonna summon like Black Flair Dragon, and it's like you're not gonna do much with that.
Yeah. But his float is really good because it's not on destruction. It's just if he's sent to the graveyard, so you can even link him away.
Yeah, you get a free
and he
monster
still floats.
back.
So
and the burn on fusion summon's cool. And
yeah,
like you foolish burial and then you burn at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of cool. One of the coolest things about Red Eyes, that you can send a lot of monsters to the graveyard where there's just nothing that does anything in the graveyard yet.
Yeah. Cards of the Red Stone is next. This is their draw spell. It's pretty good because it lets you draw 2, discard 1, and then also Foolish Burial.
Like any level 7 Red Eyes,
yeah,
which is cool. It's cool that they didn't limit this one to just like Red Eyes Black Dragon. It's any level 7. There's actually quite a few level 7s, but I feel like it still wouldn't be that broken if it was any Red Eyes monster, and then you Foolish Burial like a level 7 Red Eyes, and it would have been a little bit better if it was searchable. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel like not every like deck has like a searchable draw card, so it's like whatever. It just sucks that it's hard once per turn.
It's hard when, honestly, this card probably should have been searchable just because it is a hard once per turn anyway. I don't think it's a
return type.
Yeah, like orchestrated return is searchable. This honestly should have been searchable. Like, it wouldn't have been broken if this was searchable. Like, all it does is you draw 2 and get rid of 1. Like, it's not. It's like.
And it's specifically level 7 for both of them. Like. Yeah. At best, you're sending 2 Red Eyes Black Dragons like purely to the graveyard. Which isn't gonna go crazy.
Yeah, like that's really not doing much. Next we've got Black Chick. This card is completely just inappropriate in the deck. Like this card was good in like, well, I can't even use the word good. This card you had to use back in like 2005 just because it was like the only Red Eyes support card. It was the easiest way to summon Red Eyes. But like, there's number one, it's not even a Red Eyes card in name. It's Black Chick, so it's not even it's not even searchable. So you would have to waste your normal summon on this and then tribute this to special summon a Red Eyes from specifically your hand. Like, this card is just, it's been power crept so much, there's absolutely no reason to use it. It's just,
at that point, it's better to just summon one of the Geminis all over again.
Yeah, it's just, like, literally, this card's been this card got power crept by a card that isn't even playable. Like, that's how bad this is. Next, we've got Dragoon.
F tier, right?
Yeah, F tier. S tier, need we say more? I mean, this card is just insanely. Every deck uses it, but in this deck, it's even better because you can revive it.
You can revive it, and it helps out with like return and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
You can bring it back with Red Eye Spirit from the graveyard because it can be targeted in the graveyard. But yeah, this card is extremely good. It gave Red Eyes. It sucks that other decks are abusing it because this card was, it was originally intended to give Red Eyes and Dark Magician a new boss monster so that they could actually like
do something.
Yeah, they could do something
more formidable.
Yeah, and the problem is everybody's using it, so it's like it's
everyone has the outs.
Yeah, so everyone has the outs. So if honestly, if this was like a card that only Red Eyes and Dark Magician could play, it would probably be like a lot more interesting. But unfortunately, everyone's like playing the Ice Dragon's Prison and the Tactical Talents and
Psychic Eraser,
and all that other stuff, and the Kaijus and the and the sphere modes, lava golem, droplets. Like everyone's playing those cards, so it kind of washes this card out a little bit. But it's still the best fusion target. Like it is better than all of these other fusion targets.
Maybe even combined.
Yeah, probably combined, because it pops 2 cards. It inflicts life points. It does damage.
It negates.
It negates effects. Can't be destroyed.
Much protection.
Cannot be targeted. Like you'd have to be in serious condition to not want to play that. Like I don't even know what else to say. Next was this Arch Fiend.
Yeah,
Red Eyes.
D.
Yeah, he's definitely a D tier. So the problem with this card is, again, it's another Gemini monster. It's a level 6 Red Eyes Fiend monster. So it doesn't have, you can't summon Comet with it. And actually, there's a card this card was actually intended to be used with this card down here, which is the Arch Fiend Fusion. And unfortunately, you cannot use Red Eyes Fusion with this card because Gemini monsters, and this is another stupid inconsistency, Gemini monsters are not normal monsters in a deck. They're just normal monsters on the field and grave until you normal summon them.
Arch Fiend specifically says a normal Red Eyes monster and a level 6 normal Arch Fiend.
Yeah. So it's just like, it just creates so many, that was just such a stupid inconsistency that they created. And on top of that, this card's effect is that you can destroy, when you actually do Gemini summon him, you can destroy monsters equal to the, what was it again? It was the equal to the defense.
Yeah, if they have less defense than he has attack. It's like the spell card for Summon Skull, Makiyu, something like that.
Yeah,
that's his exact
Makiyu
effect.
or Rain.
Yeah, that's exactly his effect with Summon Skull.
Yeah, which sounds good, except Link monsters don't even have defense.
Mm-hmm.
So
and his attack's 25, which is like, it's not bad, but then it's like there's a lot of boss monsters with like a lot of attack, and a lot of defense. So it's like,
yeah, he just there's really nothing, no real purpose for him anymore.
I actually don't remember if it was current attack or like original attack. Because if it's not original attack, then you can buff him with like Black Dragon Sword and destroy everything. It's not a Link. But that's living a great life. Yes. You gotta drop Glove Hermos, you gotta summon him, that's too much.
Next we've got Return of the Red Eyes. This is A tier. This is a good card.
Yeah.
This is a really good card.
If you control a Red Eyes, you can summon any normal monster from your graveyard. There's a continuous trap, so you can do it every single turn. And if they go, alright, I'm tired of that, and they MST it, and you get to summon like
any Red Eyes.
Any Red Eyes monster.
Yeah.
From the graveyard.
This card is very good. Like, it punishes your opponent for getting rid of it and punishes them for keeping it on board. This card is actually really, really good.
The only thing that sucks about it is that like people are playing a lot of Cosmic Cyclones, so it's like when it gets Cosmic Cycloned, it's
just gone, But they lose 1,000 Link, so screw them.
But if they leave it, there's just so much. There's so much opened up to you.
And you can even bring back like Dark Magician that you summoned off, like that you used for your Dragoon.
You can bring back Summon Skull.
Yeah, Summon Skull, Dark Magician. Next we've got Spirit. This card is slightly better than the Return. You can probably make it better than Comet Dragon. This is a trap card that you search after you run out of trap cards, to like after you stop searching the Fang with Chains. You usually search this because it can bring back Dragoon. On top of that, it's a chainable trap card. Like, it's not continuous, it's not weird in any way. You chain it, you summon the monster. It has a lot of really, really good like uses throughout the deck.
It's one of the most simple cards in the deck, but it's like one of the strongest. Like, you can just bring back the Dragoon, like he said, or like Darkness Metal. Darkness Metal is like probably the best target before. Or you can even bring back things like Baby Dragon to like chump blocks attacks and then start floating and stuff. It's just really like versatile, depending on what you have set.
Yep. Next, little controversial. We've got the
Flair Metal.
Flair Metal, the one he's really good. So he's really like, if he can't be destroyed by card effects, if he has material,
he does. It's not an activated effect. It's just continuous. He does burn for every card or effect.
Every card your opponent activates.
Card or effect.
Yeah, card or effect. This is actually one of the better. This is one of the few decks that can beat Mystic Mine pretty easily, because you just summon this, and every time they activate something, it automatically inflicts 500. It's a continuous effect. Mm-hmm. It's good for beating. Yeah, it's even under Mystic Mine.
And you could say like, oh, they're not going to activate anything once they have the
Cauldron.
Yeah, Cauldron activates during the standby to give the things, so it's always going to activate, and they're always going to activate it to burn.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna keep like steamrolling. Especially if you have 2 of these on the field.
If you have 2, forget it. If they have 3, how many cards can they activate? Like 5 or 4?
I can't do math that fast, but I'll take your word for it.
No, actually they have, I think 6 or whatever. It's 1,500 3 times. It's enough. But basically, yeah, it puts a timer on your opponent. And then on top of that, we forgot its most important effect, which is you can detach a summon a Red Eyes from the graveyard.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a normal Red Eyes.
Yeah.
This is still, I think this is still around like the Gemini weird era.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you can't summon like the cool guys, like the new ones, like Gear Freed and Baby Dragon and stuff. But it's still like, the normal ones are like the level 7s. So, you can summon one of those and you can like, more likely than not, you can overlay into another one, so you can get like 2 of them on the field. Unless you're under Mystic Market. It's still a little awkward, but you can still get it out, like, anyway. But yeah, getting the other, like, level 7 is just free and easy, basically.
Next, we've got the Arch Fiend. This is at the top of C tier. This is the Red Eyes Arch Fiend. It's a going second sort of card. Again, this has a little issue, too, because it was around this Gemini era that was a little bit weird. Because it basically needs a normal Red Eyes and then a normal Arch Fiend monster, normal level 6.
Specifically level 6,
yeah. So there's only 2 targets, because again, like we said, this is actually not a normal monster in the deck. It's only a normal monster on the field, and that's if you don't Gemini summon it. So you have to play Summon Skull in order to play this card.
Or Beast of Tot War.
Or Beast
why
of
would you
Tot
play
War?
Beast of Tot War? Because Summon Skull is just
objectively better. So it's like, yeah, this card is a little, the only thing it does is it lets you get over, like Utopia the Lightning, for example. Like, it basically has the Utopia the Lightning effect, but it's bigger than Utopia the Lightning. And then it has the secondary effect.
Oh,
the burner.
It's like the same as Black Flare. If it attacks, basically, if it just attacks and like battles, you can like at the end of the battle phase, you can like shuffle in. I don't remember if it's a normal Red Eyes or any Red Eyes, and you just do their whole like attack is like burn, which is like he's gonna attack for 32, he's gonna do some damage, and then you do like 24 like burn, like that's a lot compared with like some of the other burn stuff. It's just
like it's not a bad card,
crazy,
but it's just like
the materials.
The materials are all weird, and
he also has no protection whatsoever, which makes him kind of awkward too.
You could like you can summon this, like put all the materials into it, and then you just activate a compulsory evacuation device, and you just your monster's gone. You just put like 3-4 cards into this, and
but at least you can't get Mirror Force.
Yeah, you can't get Mirror Force, but you can get compulsory evacuation device. This is a pretty good ritual spell, actually. It's searchable, and that's why it's good. And actually,
and it vanishes from the graveyard.
Yeah, it's probably top of C tier. This is actually better than Lord of the Red is very good. We've already discussed this, but
it's just the name. The level.
Yeah, it's the name and the level that sucks. But Transmigration is actually really good because it's not only is it searchable with like Black Metal Dragon and other search cards. It's searchable with all the other search cards that search Red Eye spells and traps. But on top of that, it can let you tribute from the graveyard or from the hand in order to summon Red Eyes.
Yeah, hand field or banish from the graveyard.
Yeah,
any combination of the 3 too.
Yeah, so for that reason, this is a very good ritual spell. Honestly, if we were just like, if this wasn't connected to Lord of the Red, and if this was connected to a better ritual, like this would probably be again in the A's. But this is just it's what you can summon with the deck, which is just basically Lord of the Red. Claw of Hermos is going to be right around the Red Dragon, the Red Eye Sword. Again, if this was searchable, like very easily searchable, I could see somebody building like a going second strategy with Red Eyes, where you can basically summon a Red Eyes, or you can summon basically like a larger dragon, and attach it with one of these, and then you have like 10,000 attack. You just attack for a game. Like I could imagine that, but this is not searchable. You can't build your deck around something that inconsistent.
And if it was searchable, it'd be a lot cooler because it's like the other Claw of Hermos targets are like warriors and stuff. And
yeah.
You have the Gear Freed. So.
And you've got the Wizard. You can play them instant fusion, go into the Wizard. It's a whole mess. It goes second. This is the Infernal Fire Blast. This card's like the only reason you, first of all, it's not red. It doesn't have Red Eyes in the name, so it's not searchable. The only reason you would want to play this is if you were playing the FTK. Like that's the only reason. And the FTK is about as inconsistent as it gets. Like it's super. Like I've honestly tried it. I've tried the serial spell and everything, and you probably successfully FTK if your opponent doesn't have a hand trap at 1 out of 3 times. And then if they do have a hand...
Even if they don't have a hand trap, it's just like, you still have to play against yourself.
Yeah, like most of the time you'll honestly just break. You probably FTK successfully like one out of 2 times, and then the other time your opponent just ashes you, and you're just nothing you could do.
And if they draw you,
actually, why are we even putting this up here? This is here. This is unplayable, but this is somewhat playable. Like this is like this whole list.
Because you can target any of the not Dragoon, but you can target any of the fusions, and you can do a lot. Like
yeah,
like
you can target Comet, for example.
If you go into Comet, you send Darkness Metal, you do 14. These Inferno Fire Blast, it's 49 on your first turn. Like that's a pretty crazy amount.
Yeah.
And especially with like time rules as they are, it's like if it was searchable, it'd be a better side option. But like if you draw into it as a side option, it's still not bad either. So
yeah.
It's like,
yeah, the only reason you play is either play an FTK that's inconsistent or side it in, but you really shouldn't be winning like that anyway. Red Eyes Retro Dragon, we put this
somewhere in B tier.
B tier, right around here. It's basically a hand trap.
I think it's worse than
Oh, it's worse than a ritual spell.
Yeah.
It's basically like a hand trap, honestly. It's like a Red Eyes hand trap. Basically, it just lets your monsters like float, and then you special summon this and the monster that got destroyed.
The thing that sucks about it is that it's specifically 7 or lower Red Eyes monsters. I don't know why they did that for a while. It's like a lot of things where it's just specifically 7 or lower Red Eyes monsters, which is just weird. Like, I don't think it would be that bad if like Darkness Metal got destroyed and then you bring it back with Retro Dragon. Like, even like the crazy decks that played Darkness Metal, I don't think it would have been that crazy to play it. Like they would have never played Retro Dragon to protect it. So I don't know. It's just weird. And you also can't bring back the fusions because they're not Red Eyes monsters.
Yeah.
But
it's a big mess.
Yeah.
This card is Malefic. Malefic, actually, his stock went up. He's probably somewhere around here. If you play a field spell in the deck, if you play like a combo version of the deck and you play a field spell, he's actually very good. If you don't play a field spell, obviously he's like an F tier. But if you do play a field spell, he is very, very good. And by field spell, we typically mean like something like a
Romulus.
Yeah, like Dragon's a Romulus. Ravine. Yeah, Dragon's Ravine, something like that.
Boot Sector Launch.
Boot Sector Launch.
If you like the Geminis, if you like them enough to play
Oh yeah, the Gemini field spell, the Catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah. If you play that, then you can just use another free 7, and you can go into like overlays and stuff like that, and like just like all the other Malefics, it's like super free. You just banish like the other name from the deck, and I typically play 3 Red Eyes because of him, the fusion, Cards of the Redstone, Insight. So you're never not gonna be without a Red Eyes in the deck. So he's just like literally always free as long as you have the field spell, and no one's gonna like see him come out and get scared enough to like MST your field spell. So what do you have to worry about, honestly?
Yeah. No, he's gone up. He's gone in level. He's basically always a free summon.
Mm-hmm.
He's always a level 7. He's a level 7 Red Eyes.
Unless you draw him and then 3 Red Eyes White Dragons.
Oh yeah, unless you do that, then you're in for it. Next we've got Fang with Chain. This is the best Red Eyes trap card by far. If Red Eyes had more trap cards, spell and trap cards that were searchable like this card, this deck would probably be significantly better. But this card is very, very good. It lets your monsters attack twice, which is irrelevant because no one ever uses it. But its other effect is that it can steal your opponent's monsters during their turn, which is really good.
The attack twice is it's not that good, but it's supposed to be with Slash Dragon because then you equip 2 warriors instead of like 1. Yeah. But it's still like
it attacks twice on monsters. It's a trap card. Like it's a little weird.
That's weird, yeah.
But this card is like it's really good. It basically lets you steal your opponent's monsters. So that's usually the best part of this, is that you can keep using Black Metal Dragon, keep searching these things, and you can actually set 3 of them in your back row. They're not once per turn, and every time your opponent summons, they summon, you steal it. They summon, you steal it. You 3 times, like 3 interruptions. A very good card.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good card.
And like I said before, the monster's not in the graveyard. They can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
It's not like they can link it away, or it's not like you negated the effect and you just link it away for something else. Like that monster's not in their possession at all.
Like you just take it. Like they can't do anything. Like let's say that your opponent summons like a White Stone of Ancients, and then you just take their White Stone of Ancients. They literally can't do anything with it. They can't use the graveyard effect. They can't do anything. They're basically it creates a lot more issues than just popping it or using impermanence or something. Next is this thing.
Baby Dragon.
Baby Dragon. We put this
I think it was like low B.
Low B.
Somewhere in C maybe.
Yeah, I don't like this thing at all. You've used it, but I'll put it right here. This card's got a lot of problems because it's just too slow. Like if this came out in the first Red Eye structure deck in like 2005, like this would be a half decent card. But like it wouldn't have made Red Eyes meta, but it would have made Red Eyes like okay. But for this card to come out in what was like 2017, like this, this card is just so, it's a battle phase.
It has to be destroyed by battle, and then
it has the equip effects too.
It is a really good effect when it's equipped and sent to the graveyard.
Yeah,
that's a really good effect.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? Union carry it on?
No.
MST like, your own card, like it's.
No, because it's supposed to be equipped onto the free. Yeah.
Oh yeah, onto when it gets destroyed by battle, and then it equips to the monster it's summoning. But still, it's like the setup for this is just the most of the time. The only time you'll really use it is if you crash this card into your opponent's monster. Your opponent's never going to be like, unless you're playing against a real bonehead, they're not going to attack into your monster.
And even if you just like set it and just like leave it there, like the way most decks play now, they're gonna have something to pop it or spin it back to the hand.
Something. No one's gonna attack this thing.
And if they do attack it, they've already set up their negates and stuff, so it's just you're not doing much. So.
And it's crazy because this is one of the more expensive cards too.
Yeah.
Red Eyes Fusion. This is another interesting one. Okay, so with Predaplant, Verde Anaconda, this card's like here. Without Verde Anaconda, this card's probably like somewhere around here.
Maybe even a little lower.
Yeah, even a little lower because most of the time you want to do like even before Dragoon came out, what you wanted to do with this deck was usually just combo off. You usually use like the guard dragons and stuff like that, and then you end on a variety of like the fusion monsters, through like Argo Pain and stuff like that. And then when Argo Pain got banned, you just scrapped all that together. But now that Predaplant Verde Anaconda came out, this card is just absolutely insane because
now you can combo and end it off with the fusion.
Yeah, you just combo and then at the end just use this card. So all of that you can't normal summon or set stuff is just like. Well, you can't normal summon or special summon stuff. It's just out the window. But as a ritual spell, it is as a fusion spell, it is a pretty crazy fusion spell because you can send targets from the deck. The only issue is there are some issues with that just because like this card, like Arch Fiend, the Geminis are not normal monsters in the deck. They're only normal monsters on field and graveyard if you haven't normal summoned them a second time, and that creates a few different issues because. Obviously, you have to send materials from the deck to use this card. But outside of that, this is a very, very good card. Because now with Predaplant Verde Anaconda, it's just...
I think one of the coolest things about it is that it fuses from the hand, field, and deck.
Yeah.
Like there's no possible way of being like, oh, well, I bricked. Like,
yeah.
Because it's just always going to be live.
Yeah.
Except for Anaconda, which is like not in the deck. But other than that, it's a really cool for the monsters.
Next is Red Eyes Metal Dragon. This is an F tier. The only reason that this is better than these two is if you wanted to play this in a Red Eyes Lord of the Red deck. That is the only reason why you would want to play this card because it actually is a level 8
Red Eyes monster.
Yeah, it's a level 8 Red Eyes monster, so you could use it with Transmigration to tribute this to summon the Lord of the Red. That is the only reason that you would ever want to play this card. Objectively speaking, outside of that, this card is actually to summon this card you have to equip a Red Eyes with Metal Morph, and then you can summon this from your deck by tributing the Red Eyes with the Metal Morph. And the Red Eyes with the Metal Morph, it would be 100 attack less, but it would gain attack every time that Red Eyes attacked, it would gain attack equal to half the attack of your opponent's monster. So it is always just objectively better anyway to just keep the Red Eyes with the Metal Morph. So other than that, this card is pretty garbage.
It looks cool.
It looks awesome. It's especially this particular artwork. It looks very, very cool.
It's like the worse the artwork, the better the card sometimes.
Yeah, no, this artwork is really awesome. Yeah, there's some really weird looking Red Eyes cards, but that artwork is very serious. Next we've got the Blackstone of Legend. This card is probably some. It's up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's like low B tier.
Yeah,
I think the ritual spell's better than it.
Yeah, this card is.
I think it's worse than retro. I mean, better than retro, but like, yeah.
This card's a little bit of a mess. Like it's not a bad card. It's better than a lot of the other little red eyes monsters. The issue with it is it's a little bit too slow. Because all it basically does is let you on normal summon, like you summon it, then you tribute it, and then you summon a red eyes from your deck. Or you could do like a recursion play where you can, what is it?
Shuffle in level 7 or lower. If this is in your graveyard and a red eyes monster is in your graveyard, if it's a 7 or lower, you can shuffle it back into the deck and then add him back to your hand. The problem is that like those are both like pretty good effects because you have recursion, like recycling, and you have like a summon from the deck. But it's just such a hard once per turn. You can only do one of those, and it's like I don't think it'd be that crazy to just summon a Red Eyes Black Dragon from the deck or like any one of the lower ones. Like, but even so, there's just like there's just so much better things you can normal summon because it's like you're just gonna tribute him and then summon one of those guys, and then it's not really getting you anywhere. It's just like it's just getting like one monster out. It's just not enough. It's too slow.
And the second effect doesn't, like, the second effect seems like it would work into the first effect's favor. But it actually doesn't even, like, have synergy within itself. Because you can add it back to hand, but you can't use that effect anyway. So it's like, it's pointless. It really only is good as recursion, and that's about it. And so you would never, like, want to play more than, like, one copy. This card is actually better in a Toon deck than it is in a Red Eyes deck.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it's crazy. Wyvern. This card's another one that's gone up, like, in terms of value. In terms of, not value, but use within the deck. Because values are relevant. All these cards are kind of expensive. Yeah, in terms of value within the deck, this card's good because it can revive Dragoon. So it'd probably be, like, here.
But at the same time, it is such a...
Oh, yeah, if you don't normal summon.
Steep, yeah.
But you always normal summon.
Yeah,
unless it's during your opponent's turn.
No, it has to be during your end phase. The turn you don't normal summon.
That sucks.
So it's like you have to get him in the graveyard, and you have to.
Yeah,
you have to be in a losing spot to bring back Dragoon, and it's like.
Yeah.
We bring back Dragoon during the end phase. What is he gonna do?
It's a mess.
But at the same time, we're bringing Dragoon back, so it's like. You know, sometimes outing him the first time is like tough for a deck. If they don't draw the outs, and they just go with like their main deck, like their main archetypes, like sometimes they have a thing that can just out it. But it's like they can't always like consistently do it, or they can only do it like once in a duel unless they have like Pot of Avarice or something. So it's like outing Dragoon, but then bringing it back like multiple times with like Spirit and Wyvern and stuff. It's like it can be really taxing on a deck, and it's just way too much. That's really all there is to say about it.
Next is Summon Skull. This is another. Nope, technically not F tier. Bottom of D tier.
Necessary evil.
Yeah, you have to play him if you want to play the Arch Fiend. If you want to play like you can't get around it. Either this or Beast of Talwar. Like there's really nothing else to say. You have to play him. This card we've got the Paladin. Is it Paladin of Red Eyes?
Paladin of Dark Dragon.
Oh, so it's not even Red Eyes in name. Even better. But
him and the spell. At least Lord of the Red was onto something with ritual spell.
But this card is actually fairly decent. It's probably one of the better paladins because it can tribute itself in order to special summon a copy of basically any Red Eyes monster from the deck, which includes Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which is about as good as of a Red Eyes main deck monster as it gets.
That's where Blackstone really missed the market. Like you have to go through a lot more work to summon Paladin, but the payoff with summoning Darkness Metal and summoning back Paladin or summoning back like a Black Metal or whatever you tributed, like there's just so much to go off of.
Yeah.
And then the next turn.
And the ritual spell, yeah. And the ritual spell's pretty good, so these two are just like half decent. Red Eyes Burn. I honestly, in all my years, have never seen anybody use this card. Like this technically is better. Because at least you can activate it on turn 1 and FTK your opponent. This card is like a slow burn card, which is a mess within itself.
So, at least it's searchable.
It's a slow searchable burn card. Like this, that's all I can say about this card. Like the only reason you would play it is if you knew you were going into time. That's like, and again, I don't condone those tactics anyway. But other than that, I don't even know. Yeah, this card's a mess. Regular Red Eyes, top of A tier. You have to play it in the deck. You don't always have to play 3 copies, because you always have to play 3 copies of, for example, like Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. You don't always have to play 3 copies of this. You can actually play 2 copies of this and 1 copy of the Black Flare. You don't have to play 3 copies. That's the one thing that's keeping it probably from S tier. Also, just stat-wise, it is a little underwhelming stat-wise.
Yeah, the Summon Skull's probably better.
Yeah.
Probably put some Skull above him in 18.
Yeah, it's a little underwhelming stat-wise, and it's actually not particularly easy to summon from the hand. It's a bit of a brick in hand. With this deck, you actually want to keep these in your deck.
Send them.
To send in some manner. You want this card in the graveyard. You want it in the deck. You actually do not want it in your hand. But you have to play 3, so you are bound to see some in your hand. Next, Gearfried, bottom of A tier. This card has cool synergies with various different cards. This is what we call the Equip era of Red Eyes. This is where they switched focus from like Gemini and Fusion, and they suddenly went to Equips, and everything was like revolved around Equips. Yeah, this card has an effect where if it's equipped to a...
If it gets equipped, you can destroy that equipped card, and then non-target, destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls, which is really cool to get some non-targeting stuff. That's like always pretty lit.
Yeah.
And then so you destroy it. So the best thing to do is you Fang with Chain, you take their monster, and you destroy that monster, and then you pop one of their spells or traps, non-target. It's probably like, gonna be like a field spell or continuous spell. So like off of that one Fang with Chain, they're losing like 2 resources at the same time. And if you don't want to get rid of the equip card right away, the monster you took, then you can use the second effect to bring back any level 7 or lower Red Eyes, which is again weird that it's 7 or lower. I don't see a problem with bringing back. I mean, guys, I guess now because it's like Dragoon, you just bring back Dragoon off an equip. But even still, like Gearfried's actually not that good alone. Like Gearfried literally relies on having an equip card, which is like the worst part about him. But other than that, I think he's still pretty solid disruption.
Yeah.
With Fang with Chain, I said. Oh, and Baby Dragon, he worked extremely well.
And he's the best. He's the best target for one of the best targets for Slash Dragon. Him and the Phantom Knights. Like those are really your best targets because the Phantom Knights float into Fog Blades, and then this thing is just good just to have in graveyard as another Red Eyes name.
Or Spirit, bring back their nurture and stuff like that.
Next is Darkness Metal Dragon. We had him here. If this was the old effect, or one of 2 things can happen. If this card has its old effect pre-errata, he's an S tier. If this card, top of the list without a doubt. If this card goes to 3, which honestly, this card really should go to 3 because it has an errata anyway. The only deck that would actually play this card at 3 would be Red Eyes. Like I can't see I can't see Dragon Link playing this card at 3 because it's really not that good of an opener. Most of the time you summon it off of LP. But if this card went to 3, or this card got its old effect back, it's an S tier. But unfortunately, we're in neither of those scenarios right now, so it's just slightly worse than Dragoon. Just because Dragoon is still a very good boss monster. But I really don't see why this card can't go to 3 with its new errata effect. But yeah, very, very good card. He works extremely well with Black Metal Dragon right here. Very, very good. Easy to summon, summons from grave, summons from hand, unbreaks you, summons back Black Metal Dragons so you can keep looping them away and searching for Fang with Chains. It's a very good card.
Every dragon, almost every dragon on this like list, like if you summon them back from the graveyard, there's just so much that can happen. You summon back the Slash Dragon, you can put equips on him. You summon back the Meteor Dragon, you can link him away, get another monster back. There's just so much that happens when you get out the Darkness Metal.
He's extremely, extremely good in the deck. Next is the Meteor Dragon, which beats out the Black Skull Dragon by just a hair because he has
300 attack points.
Yeah, he has 300 attack points more, and he requires basically it requires Meteor Dragon and Red Eyes, which are 2 dragons, so technically more synergy. Whereas this requires Summon Skull and Red Eyes. Yeah, again, this is another card that you wouldn't. There's no real point to play this. It's just not. Literally, this is the Meteor Dragon and you have the Comet Dragon. Like you have the better version available to you, so just play the better version. There's no reason to play these. We've got the Red Eyes Insight. Where are we putting this?
Somewhere in A tier.
Yeah. Is this better than here? Yeah,
I'd say
right
it's
here.
I'd say it's a little bit better than the Comet.
Comet. There you go. This card's good too. It sends as cost, which is pretty good. But again, the Red Eyes monsters don't really float unless they're sent from field. So it does. You get to send, but you don't really get anything off that send. But then it searches any Red Eye spell or trap card, which again is good. But basically, you have two Red Eye spell and trap cards that are reborn stuff. You have one that's actually good, which is the Fang with Chain, and then you have
the fusion,
which is weird like stuff. Yeah, like fusions, rituals, and the burn card.
But like the fusion used to be the go-to because it's like if you couldn't combo off that much. But now it's like you don't want to search the fusion unless you have literally nothing. Yeah. You don't want to search the fusion. You want to keep it in the deck for Verte Anaconda.
Yeah.
So it's like Insight's like really good on paper, or I guess technically it's on card, but it's really good like in hindsight and insight. Oh man, I'm terrible. But he's really good. There's just nothing like crazy good to send as cost. Yeah. And there's nothing crazy good to search other than like Fang with Chain, of course. But there's nothing like proactive. There's no like spell to search to extend your combos. You can't search the cards of the red stone. That's the only issue with it. I think if there was like a really good like monster to Foolish Burial and or a really good spell to search, I think it'd like easily be like at the least bottom of S tier.
It's a million times better than Bingo Machine Go. It is.
That's for sure.
Bingo Machine Go is like the most inconsistent search card. But next we've got the Black Metal Dragon. This is another one's card. I don't even know where to put either. This might be an S tier, like top of S tier.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I feel pretty confident putting this up here.
There's so many like one or two card combos.
This card's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is probably the best Red Eyes card because it searches not once per turn if it leaves the field. Like if it goes from field to grave, it searches and it's not once per turn at all. It's a very, very good card. It searches any Red Eyes card too. Monster, spell, trap. Again, unlimited. As long as you keep linking it away, you'll keep searching. You need it in every Red Eyes combo deck. There isn't a single Red Eyes deck that you can't play without playing 3 copies of this card. This is like by far the best Red Eyes card. And then it has another effect that is very rare that comes up, but you can actually equip this to a monster, and then that monster gains 600 attack.
So it works with Gearfried, Dragon. It works with every part of the deck, whether you're playing combo, equips,
Geminis, because it gives you more attack, and then you can get over stuff. Like there isn't a single type of Red Eyes play style that you can create where this card does not help you.
And you search for the extenders like Malefic, Darkness Metal, Alternative. You search for the disruptions like Fang with Chain. You search for like things to help you. You search for the monsters to help you go into Flair. It's just
it does everything. You can even help you deck thin. Like you can search the insight with this, and then you activate insight, send a card, and then search another card. So you just like deck thin your card by thin your deck by 3 cards. So when you activate the cards of the red stone, you're less likely to draw bricks. Like this card is insane. Like there is not a single aspect of the deck that would have you, like, if you want to, like, we just keep saying the same thing, but if you play the rituals, you play this card. If you play the fusions, you play this card. If you play the Gemini, everything, no matter what part of the deck you're playing, you want to play this card. It is absolutely, you want to see it in your starting hand. You want to get to it as fast as possible. As a matter of fact, you're probably playing one for one just to see it more often. And I don't even know what else to say. It's just an amazing card. It is easily one of the better Red Eyes cards.
He's also why I thought Baby Dragon was a little bit better, because Baby Dragon sent up Grieve as an equip. You search for him, and it's like, well, you can search for any level 1 dragon, but what other option is there other than Black Metal Dragon himself? So.
And he's extremely compatible with the Guard Dragon plays.
Oh yeah,
like we didn't even mention that. Yeah, he's extremely compatible with the Guard Dragon plays. Like. It's crazy because he's a level 4 or lower dragon, and every time you make an LP or a Pisty or anything, you get to search. So you're getting the pluses off the guard dragons, and you're getting the pluses off of him. So you're basically going +2 every single time. And then you summon a Saryuja, and you put all the junk back, and you draw new cards. Like it's absolutely stupid. This card is by far the best Red Eyes card that we have yet. beating out the Dragoon, which I didn't actually think anything would beat out the Dragoon in this list, but we kind of held the best for somewhat last.
And funnily enough, he's not even a Red Eyes monster.
Yeah, he's not even a Red Eyes monster in name. He's Black Metal Dragon. If he was a Red Eyes monster in name, I don't even know what else to say.
Oh, forget it.
Then you could search himself.
You could Fang with chain him. You could spirit him, bring him back.
Yeah, he'd be. I think we'd
have too much fun.
Yeah, we'd be having a different conversation right now. We'd have to create like. We'd have to get rid of S tier and put like super S tier.
SS tier.
It'd be insane.
Z tier, is it Dragon Ball Z?
Next is the what's the name? Red Eyes Darkness Dragon.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot all about him. I thought we were done.
No, we're not done. We're almost done. This is Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. It is the only level 9 that I know of.
Actually, him and the Arch Fiend fusion are level 9.
Arch Fiend fusion and him are level 9s. Which is pretty interesting, actually. But yeah, he's a level 9. You can go into calamities with him. If you can check
combo
out.
Up on
yeah,
March, right?
the combo is up on the channel. But other than that, like if you weren't doing that particular combo, this card's actually pretty not good. Like the only thing that's good about it is that it has.
It gains 300.
Yeah, it gains
attack.
a lot of attack.
Yeah. 300 attack for every dragon in your graveyard, and it's like once when you're done comboing off, like he's gonna be like let's say you summon like 5 dragons of graveyard, that's 1500 attack. He's 24 base. It's 3900 attack. Like he can pretty easily like get over a Dragoon. Like
yeah.
And you don't have to activate any effect to summon him. I mean, technically you do because you have to summon a Red Eyes. But like his summoning itself is not like an effect. It's just a summoning condition. Just tribute the Red Eyes, and it's like he comes out pretty big. And if you have him equipped with a black sword, with a Red Eye sword, it's 800 per dragon. That's crazy. But that's not gonna happen.
you can tech him in to have like an interesting out to Dragoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would actually be like you could tech in like 1 copy, and just in case we probably are underrating this guy. Honestly, he's actually better than this Meteor thing.
Yeah.
Like you can actually tech him in. Just to like in a regular Red Eyes deck to just out like bigger monsters, because there's a lot of like random decks that'll summon like monsters that can't be affected or targeted, or like weird things like that. So I think it's actually pretty cool. The only thing is he has absolutely no protection.
Yeah.
Other than that, like he's actually pretty cool. And if you do your like standard guard dragon combos, you have quite a few dragons in your graveyard. Yeah.
Oh, and extra searches off of black metal.
Yeah.
Searching him isn't gonna like.
It's not gonna kill you. Yeah. And he has an awesome artwork.
Yeah, and he's compatible with like Fang with chain.
Yeah.
Return.
Oh my god, Claw of Hermos. Yeah, we used to have a deck where we used to summon him, and then attach him with Claw of Hermos. This is pre Master Rule 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you summon him. He gains all the attack from all the dragons. You activate Claw of Hermos. He gains even more attack. And he has like 25,000 attack, and you just attack for game. It used to be a pretty fun deck way back in the day. But I think that is the last card. The rest of this stuff is kind of irrelevant. This is a tune card. I'm not going to rate it. People always tell me, what about the tune card? I'm not going to grade the... Like, there's no reason why you play the regular Red Eyes tune card in the regular Red Eyes deck. This is the Red Eye Zombie. Again, you're not using this in this deck. This goes into a zombie deck.
100% not using it, because there is no main deck tuners.
Yeah, there's no tuners, and you'd have to play a level 1 and a level 6, which you have a level 6. Oh yeah, summon Skull to summon this, and then, like, the only reason you would summon this is if you're, like, playing against, like, the zombie matchup, and you just want to surprise them. Like, it's the only reason. And then you've got this. This is a duplicate, and this is the other Red Eyes zombie monster. Which again, you have absolutely no reason to play it.
The only argument is that it's cards to the redstone, or sending it as cost or something. But even then,
there's no reason, because there's better stuff to send all throughout this tier list here. But that is basically it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, all that great stuff, and thank you for watching. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, check out the other videos on the channel, and please subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Again, thank you so much. Have a terrific day.